everybody, my name is Derek Cruz, and today we're going to be talking about the kinematic sequence. The kinematic sequence honestly sounds very confusing when you first hear the term, and if you're like me, I thought I would never understand it or get to the bottom of it. But after doing some more research, I really got to the bottom of it, and when you break it down step by step, it's a lot more easier to understand. So that's what I'm going to try to do here for you guys today. So to start off, the kinematic sequence is really just a fancy word saying your body moves in the correct order to generate speed. So what I mean by that really is think of it as a whip. When you grab a whip, and when you really want to hear that crack of the whip, you start off with a bigger piece, the handle at the bottom, and that energy transfers when you move that bottom piece of the handle. When you whip it, it goes through that long piece of the whip all the way to the top, making that crack noise. And the harder you really move that, or the more momentum you really get into that whip, that's how you hear that crack at the top. You obviously aren't going to go at the bottom or at the very top and try to crack the bottom end of the whip or the handle, because that's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Or if you think about it, when you're throwing a ball, if you want to throw a ball really far as you can, you're not just going to stand still and just toss it just like that, move your hand. You're going to generate power, energy. You're going to use your legs and really get into it. You know what I mean? So you're really just generating power throughout your entire body, moving in the correct order to get that momentum going, to get speed, to get power, if that makes sense. So when it comes to the golf swing, really, you want to just think about it as bigger parts moving first and smaller parts moving last, and the smaller parts moving the fastest as well. So in terms of the golf swing, the first part we want moving going into our downswing is going to be our legs. Think about it as you want your hips to move first, and after your hips move first, then your chest should follow through. And after your chest follows through, then your arms are following through as well. That of course leads to that club head to follow through as well. And you really want to make sure that all of these are in order, because if you go out of order, it's just not really going to make any sense. As if you were to start your downswing going arms first, I still almost went legs first, just because that's just I try to keep that natural reaction. But if I really try to break it down slowly, my downswing, if I go arms first and then my legs, see how everything just seems kind of stiff? And see, I was also almost coming over the top of the ball like that. So let's see, actually I'll demonstrate a swing doing arms first, and let's see how I can see where that gets me. Can't really see, but that was more of a pull hook. I just felt really stiff there. So let's see if it makes any difference if I do hips first. I'm gonna try to go slower for you guys so you guys can really break it down. So you can't see that, but that was actually a lot better, obviously, than this pull hook that I hit. So like I said, you really want to think of it as the bigger parts moving first and the smaller parts moving last. And like I said, that smaller part being the club head. And like I said, all you really want to do is just try to keep everything in order, because like I said, if you're moving out of order, if we're going arms first, that's just not going to happen. That sometimes often leads to chunked hits or pulling off to the left, stuff like that. That's why you really want to try to focus on just keeping everything in order. Hips, chest, arms, club head, follow through. A drill that really helped me actually before I started this, and I really didn't understand it, a drill that I was taught, it's going slow. Obviously you want to go slow in your backswing, and then through you want to point your belt buckle. Try to point your belt buckle, you can't see it but I'm wearing a belt, point your belt buckle towards the target. So if I were to go slow, I'm bringing in my backswing, pointing my belt buckle, see how I'm moving my hips, pointing my belt buckle towards the target, and that's going to automatically make my torso, my chest area follow through, leading to my hands following through as well as the club head. So that's really the kinematic sequence. I know it's really hard, honestly, to feel like you're going to grasp the concept, really going to understand it. And like I said, it was hard for me to understand the concept, but just diving into more research and really understanding and just looking at videos. I don't have the prettiest swing, obviously, but really just diving in deeper and doing your own research of what feels comfortable to you, because everybody has their own obviously unique golf swing. But this is just the standard of what the kinematic sequence really is once again. So one more time, I'm gonna try to do just a nice, smooth swing. Let's see. Felt good. Got to work on our short game, but yeah. So, like I said, I try to break it down step by step. I hope you guys can really understand and really take in the concept of what the kinematic sequence is.